Yeah, hello. Welcome back to our third lesson, lesson three. On this lesson, we focus on formatting text. So these are the key areas that we emphasizing. That is talking of setting text fonts, talking of text decoration, change text case, change text color, text alignment, indent paragraphs, crease bullets, talking of select line spacing, talking of border and shading, and finally we are going to talk about sorting. So without wasting much time, let's start. Well, assuming this is our content in our document, and these are our content contains series of text. So it is this text we have to format. So the first aspect we have to think about is how we can set our text fonts. So to do this, we focus on the font type and the size of the font. So now, for you to make any effects, you first have to select the content you want to like increase, either increase or reduce the size, or you apply another font type. So now, let me try to like let's maintain this default font type. But if you can check here, you can see that there are more different font types. So by so doing, I can also like change the second paragraph to a different font type. That is talking of Tahoma. So now at near looking, you can see that here this particular paragraph and the first paragraph or the remaining paragraphs are different. So that is to say, uh, when you apply a different font type here, its appearance is different. So now that's the first thing we do. But remember, I selected this second paragraph and I go to this section where I can select the font type, and I select the font type, and after which I'm done. So even you also want to like increase the size of the font, you do likewise. You have to select the text you want to increase the size. So from there, of course, you see in this space here providing you the font size, where you can also click here and you select the size of the font. Let's say the first paragraph is 14. Well, let me at least try to increase this one to 16. So there is that difference between the first paragraph and the other paragraphs. But remember, sometimes they will ask you to like to set the paragraph, so set the size of the font, um, maybe 12.5 or 13.5 or even 15 or 16. But looking at the drop down here, the default or the values available here are just like from 10, 11, 12. You don't have 12.5, you don't have 15, and you go to 16, 18, and 20. So therefore, you can also type in here. You say 12.5. So now the selected text is just 12.5, or we can also change this one to 15. Let's see, you type 15 in it. So for the third paragraph, the size of the text here is 15. So that is how you can select the type of the font or the text, and also the size of it. So now the other thing we are going to look at is how we can basically decorate our text. To decorate our text, this is the section that helps us do the decoration. Basically how the text will appear. So first, we have to select the first paragraph and we want to make our first paragraph bold. So you click on this P to help bold the paragraph. So similarly, you can select an empty, let me say, an empty text or even a word from which you can also produce a bold type, or you can make it italic or the rest. But let's try to like have this two words bold. After selecting them, you can also click on bold. So now you have this bold. So for whatever documents you want to create or you want to reproduce, looking at what you need. If you really want to like make it bold or you want to make it italic or so, you first have to select. So this first control here is talking of bold, so we can help you to like make your text this way. So let me use the third paragraph to apply italic. Italic helps to slanting the text for you, that is moving rightward. So now when you select this one, that is how you see your text. So for the other paragraph, I want to use the other paragraph to use to apply another decoration. That is, if you want to underline this entire paragraph. It could be a single word if you want to underline a single word. Similar method. Just select the text of the paragraph or the sentence you want to like apply it to, and you click on underline this U. You are seeing the U with the line under it. So of course that is how you can apply it. So what if you want to show a word, a sentence, or a paragraph that you have temporarily cancelled? That is how you display that. You strike through. So to strike through a word, a sentence, or a paragraph, you select that paragraph you want to apply that strike through to, and you click on text. And of course, the tip for that control is strike through, and describing it as cross through something throughout by drawing a line through it. So when you click on it, that is what will happen. After selecting the draw, that is what exactly will happen. So of course, this is what you have. So I want to explain a concept here, how you can clear off, because we formatted each paragraph with different formats. But how we can exactly clear off this format, assuming you've applied the bold to the first paragraph. Let's do it paragraph after paragraph. So we have to select that first paragraph and we select this A. So it has sent everything back to normal. So let's go to the second paragraph again and select the same A. So it is normal. But remember, the first paragraph was bold. And not only bold, but even the size of the first paragraph was increased. So when you click on bold, I repeat, and you change the size there, you can select the size there to 20. But assuming you've applied this, I'm just trying to go over it again. Assuming you've applied this and you want to readjust this, or set it back to normal or to the default text. And you don't want to undo until it reaches to the normal or the default text format. So that you click on this and clear out everything. So of course the third paragraph is italic, and we want to send it normal. You click on this one. So the fourth paragraph is like this, on a line. We click on it, and the last paragraph is having a strike through. So we also click on this to clear out everything. So this is how you can apply decoration and how you can clear off the formatting. So if we've understood the area of where we can decorate our text and how we can clear off that decoration, let me try to explain another area which we talk of how we can change the case of our text. The case of our text basically has, let me just drop it down and see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one is talking of the sentence case. The second one is talking of lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word is another. We have the toggle case. Of course, by default, our documents are being inscribed using the sentence case. By default. That is to say, we know how a sentence is being written. The first word for every sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a period or full stop. So the beginning of another paragraph the beginning of another sentence within the same paragraph starts with a capital letter also, and it ends with a period or full stop. So now when you look at that, we consider that kind of structure as a sentence case. So taking the second one, talking of lowercase, the word of the sentence case, for the lowercase, all the characters are just small letters, be it an initial or initial letters. They are all smaller letters, initial character. So when we go to the uppercase, it shows the opposite of the lowercase. All the characters are capital letters within that sentence or the paragraph. But another key thing here we have to note, when we talk of capitalize each word, of course we know what a word is. Within the paragraph, within the sentence, we have two or more words within the sentence. So each word, the initial letter of each word, if selected, capitalize each word. That is, each word has to be within that sentence has to be a capital letter. So when we go to toggle, the toggle case shows the direct opposite of all this. That is talking of the capitalized each word, uppercase, lowercase, and the sentence case. So let me try to just apply them now and see. Of course, I'm saying by default, our document is placed in that kind of sentence case. So now let's try to select this first paragraph and try to change the case of that paragraph, assuming we need lowercase now. So this is how it looks. So all the characters are in smaller letters. So let me zoom this one so that you can see what exactly I'm trying to say. So of course I can also put this so that it can be more visible to us. So now with this, let me just try to use the same paragraph and change the capital, the case of the sentence. So now changing the case of the text in the sentence, I've chosen uppercase. That is, the text in this sentence, all the text in this sentence is uppercase. So when you go there also, you change, you say capitalize each word. So selecting capitalize each word, video is a word and its initial letter is in uppercase. Provides is another word and you have P as capital letter. A is one. Pro is another word. Its initial is P, capital P. So that is what we have. But let's see now how we can basically use the toggle case. To properly use the toggle case, let me try to change this one to lowercase. As I was saying, it is the direct opposite of all the character cases. So let me just change this one to uppercase throughout, and let me change this one to um, capitalize each. Okay, so this is what we have. Of course, let me just try to clear this one off. So for the initial, we have throughout smaller letters. So if we're using toggle case for the first paragraph, we first have to select that paragraph and go to the case, the change case, and we choose toggle. It is no longer uppercase, sorry, lowercase. It has changed. All the text within that paragraph has changed to uppercase. You can do likewise for this. So you select this and go to toggle case. So all has changed to small letters. So let's see how we can change this one, which is capitalize each word. So we change it to toggle case. So the initials of each word was capitalized. Now the initials of each word has changed to small letters. And of course, it's just that. So this one is just the sentence case, which we have to change. And we have to toggle this one also. And this is what we have. So we're saying using the toggle case provides the results this way. So of course, for the sentence, for the character case, this was. So if we've changed the case, let's say I want to send everything normal. So let's try to select all and return it back to the sentence case. This is just the default. So this was like a smart act. Oh, I'm not saving it. Okay, so for this one is done. Let me explain also how we can give color to our text. Of course, you have to select the particular text or the paragraph you want to give color to. And this one here provides give the color of the font here. So it changes the color of the text. So you can click on the drop down and select the color you want. Assuming you want it blue, so you can select this. So this is how you can change the color. Okay, let's take this other one, the other paragraph, and select this so that you can take something like green. If I apply green, blue to the first paragraph and green to the second paragraph. That is how you can change the color. Okay, so if we've done that, there's one thing I left behind to explain in that section, but that I will explain that one later as we proceed. So the other section we are coming to explain here is talking of alignment of our text. That is how we can align our text. Of course, this section here takes care of the entire thing, the alignment of the text. So for the first one, we're saying it's like by default, our text is aligned left. That is, the inscription runs from left to right. But we can change that alignment. For example, if I have selected the first paragraph and I want to center this text, you can center the text, but this one is not the best example for this purpose. Let me say text alignment. Text alignment. So this is what we have. Of course, it is in uppercase. So we can select this text alignment. Of course, by default, it is left aligned. So looking at the tips for each country you see here, they're saying align your content with the left margin. That is, it has to be at the left of the page here. So meaning it starts to run from left to right. So if we are adjusting or aligning the text center, the text can be placed at the middle of the page. But if you want to align this text right, you can also click on this so that you can see the text alignment here. So let me just return this one to center because we want to center this. But how can you do that? Though I have done it once, but you can also I want to explain it more. You select the text and click on any of these based on your choice. Right, I want to place it left solely, and I want to center this. So you have to click at the paragraph middle. Okay, so we've placed this particular text at the center of the left and the right margin. That is what we mean about align center. So of course, let me try to since this one is well understood now, I can go to the second paragraph so that we can align the second paragraph to left. And when we are aligning the paragraph to either left, right, center, or justify, we are looking at how we can align left towards the margin of the page, the left margin of the page. And when we are aligning right, we align along the right margin of the page. So when we align center, it's like we are aligning at the center of both the right and the left. margin of the page. And similarly, when we want to justify, we are aligning the text on both, that is talking of an equal adjustment of both the left and the right margin of the page. So the right is this, so we align it at the right margin of the page, along the right margin of the page. So let's see if we can go to right. So you see, so it is along this left right margin of this particular page we try to like align this text. So now how can we justify? So when we justify, let me say I want to justify this entire document with a section of the caption there. So we justify, that is, we are evenly setting our content, um, both for both the right and for both the left and the right margin. I say it's like even sharing that it has, one has no weight than the other. So that is to say, it must have an even distribution, even share, of that alignment. So we justify. So that is what exactly this particular section is like talking about. But after this, so now after this, we are going to look at about how we can basically move the edges of each paragraph to either right or left. That is what we call about the indentation. How we can indent our paragraph. So now for this, I want to bring a unique example where we scribe letters and we understand that to write a letter, most often the the sender's address is always at the top right hand corner. So let me just include this. Let me bring an address. Um, okay, so this is just a paragraph we have. So we want to like shift the edges of this paragraph to the right. So to do that, we have to like do indentation. So like to indent it, like we are pushing this one inwards. So now of course we have this one, there are these two options there, and you see the arrows like this. You increase the indentation and you decrease the indentation. So like you want to like push this particular the edges inwards. So therefore you have to like shape this one as it is. Okay, wrongly placed. So this is what we have now. Um, this was a challenge before this time for so many people. Like in order to adjust this one, it is not about this paragraph setting where you can align, your paragraph either through the left margin or the right margin. This is not like that. It's like you indenting, like you are pushing the edges. The edges, you push the edge towards the particular location you want it. So this is like what you have. And similarly, if you want to return it back to its normal position, you can just uh, decrease. If you want to increase, like you push more and you reduce more. But first of all, you just have to like select it. So this is what we have. So assuming this is your letter and we have a sender's address here, and of course salutation and so on. So this is what exactly we have. That is how we deal with this indentation stuff. So the other aspect that is also important is how we can create a list. But each list, to create a list, you may want to like give calibration to that particular list. It could be numbers, it could be letters, or some other symbols which you may apply to them. So, like if you are doing search, we refer to that as how you can apply bullets. Where you can apply bullets and some other, you know, numbering. So that is. So let me just try to like add a new page. Let me just include a new page here or new document. So now, two ways. Assuming you have an existing list of which you just want to calibrate, like for example, let me just still bring this off so that we can straight off typing too many, the delay of typing too many words. So this is what we have, and of course we have the main paragraph. So assuming we want to like list this paragraph, or we want to like assign some other symbols to it, which we call bullets. So we can this one is existing. So since you have the existing document or existing content, you just try to select the entire content you want to apply that numbering or bullet to. So now, for example, you want to give bullet to this, and you click on this aspect here from this point where you can see bullets, and there you have so many forms of the bullets we have. So if we use this check bullets, of which as you look at the edge, this is what you have. So of course, for the first paragraph it's behind, the second paragraph is that, and so on. So it doesn't matter. You can also change the bullet type. So by also selecting this, and you still go there and change the type of the bullets you use. And so for more or less, you apply two or more different types of bullets as a list. So, but that is for every paragraph, it has to indicate one bullet. Each bullet describes one paragraph, another bullet describes another paragraph. So, basically, this is how you can apply bullets. But what if you also want to apply numbering? So, let's say, for example, the first and second paragraph numbers, we applied numbers to the first and second paragraph. Let me just do some steps here. So we select the two paragraphs we want to apply numbers to, and this one is the numbering. So we select, you can select letters or numbers of whatever of your choice here. So we decide including letters here or numbers either. So this is what we have for the numbering and that of the bullets. But there is another key thing here I want you to understand. I was saying when you have an existing content of which you just want to um, calibrate those paragraphs within that content. So, but what if you don't have any? Like in the case of let me just try to insert new tab, and you need a list, a fresh list. Let's say attendance list. Attendance list. So for the attendance list, I suppose this one we have to, since we are writing our attendance list, or let's just say this is meeting attendance. Let's say meeting meeting attendance. Meeting attendance. So the meeting attendance we can calibrate the attendees, the names of the attendees. So like for example, I can now go to this numbering and just select um, let's say I take number one. So I say, so these are the various formats you can just use. Remember the first one, um, there was an existing document which we just highlight everything, and we go to the stuff like the area of bullet and numbering, and we begin to like select the type we need. But in this case, Of course, we know that it must be calibrated, so therefore we just have to go straight away to the long wheel and select the type we need, the format we need, and we begin. Let's say this is Joseph, and for choose attendee number 1, we have Tia Bremer. Let me see, this should be for 2. We have Anais, James, and so on. And then we have Man, Mafaya, and so on. So we have already set the list, the calibration of which after every paragraph when you strike enter, it's automate. So that is from 4 now, it goes to 5 and so on. But what if we want to end this one? We can just strike this, the backspace twice. So this one is done. So we'll remove this. So probably we want to select now bullet, of which you can just select bullet underneath this, and but this one is done though. So that is how exactly you can basically apply your bullet.